नाथ भीकत वेरे चाहूं के वेरे बिखत नाथ भीकत वेरे चाहूं के वेरे बिखत न पायोरी नाभिगत वेरे चाहूते गायन गुनि निकट विजघर निकट गायन गुनि निकट विजघर निकट योगिया गामादीना योग गुण पायोरी भीकतियो सरस्वती भीकत बतायोगी भीकतियो सरस्वती भीकत बतायोगी सब गुनियन के दया में समायोरी सब गुनियन के दया में समायोगी विकत नयन पाधिकत में पावरे विकत नयन पाधिकत में पावरे विकती नान के के सोनारी ना भीकत वेरे गायन गुनि निकट विजघर निकट गायन गुनि निकट विजघर निकट योगिया गामादीना योग गुण पायोरी भीकत यो सरस्वती भीकत बतायोरी भीकत यो सरस्वती भीकत बतायोरी सब गुनियन के दिया में समायोरी नयन के दिया में समायोगी भीकत नयन पाधिकत में दबावने भीकत नयन पाधिकत में दबावने भीकत वेरे कहू के वेरे भीकत भीकत वेरे कहू के वेरे भीकत जय जय शिवा अविनाशी जय 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 शिवा अविनाशी जय आरत पाप कतत अमखाती जय 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 शिवा अविनाशी जय दाता जगत का दाता आनंद बन कायब आनंद राशि भक्ति परदाता जगत का दाता भक्ति परदाता जगत का दाता आनंद बन कायब आनंद राशि जय जय शिवाय अविनाशी जय भारत पाप कतत अमखाती घट घट व्यापी परम परतापी घट घट व्यापी परम परतापी सेवत पर सुन नर संहाती। घट घट व्यापी परम परतापी घट घट व्यापी परम परतापी सेवत पर सुन नर संहाती। जय जय शिवाय अविनाशी सेवक का प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का सेवक का प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का मुक्ति करो या आनंद दासी। सेवक का प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का सेवक का प्रभु श्री लाल चरण का मुक्ति करो या आनंद दासी। जय जय शिवाय अविनाशी भारत पाप कटया महासी। जय जय शिवाय अविनाशी जय जय शिवाय अविनाशी जय जय शिवाय। वृंदावन का हरे कृष्णा कन्हैया सबकी आंखों का तारा। वृंदावन का ये वृंदावन का कृष्णा कन्हैया जमुना तट पर नंद खिलाड़ा जब जब रात रचाए तन मन डोले राधा ऐसी बंसी मधुर बजाया रे। तुर मुद कोल करे गोपिया साने बैठा जादू धारा। वृंदावन का ये वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया रंग सरोना ऐसा जैसे चाहिए हो गति सावन की। रंग सरोना ऐसा जैसे चाहिए हो गति सावन की। तेरे मैं तो हुई दीवानी मनमोहन मना मावन की। तेरे कारण देखा भवारी छोड़ दिया मैंने जागा सारा। वृंदावन का ये वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया वृंदावन का ये वृंदावन का कृष्ण कन्हैया।
रम 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 राम बोले रम 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 राम बोले राम बोले राम बोले राम बोले राम बोले राम बोले रम 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 राम बोले रम 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 राम बोले राम बोले श्याम बोले राम बोले श्याम बोले राम बोले श्याम बोले राम बोले श्याम बोले रम 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 राम बोले रम 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 राम बोले सुख रामा 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 दुख रामा
रामा रामा सुख रामा 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 दुख रामा
रामा रामा सुख रामा 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 दुख रामा
रामा रामा सुख रामा 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 दुख रामा
रम 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 राम बोले
रम 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 राम बोले
हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे
हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
We join in expressions of welcome by Ari this evening.
Seat around on behalf of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation and our spiritual leader, Pandit Sunil Seetahal Maharaj, I warmly welcome you to yet another night of Devi Yagna. I hope you enjoy tonight's discourse. Seat around.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
हरे रामा 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 हरे हरे
Hare Krishna कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे
जगदम्बा देवी माता की जय. Heart ajored, with flowers in hands, we pray to the divine goddess. Once more we come knocking at your door. O Ma, listen to our prayer, accept our worship, shower your grace through us to the world around us. We beg of you. Hari Om, Hari Om, Hari Om. Viganeshwaraya Varadaya Surapranambodharaya Sakalaya Jagadhitaya Nagasrutyagya Vibhushita Gauri Sutaya Gananath Namo Namaste. Shuklam Bharadram Deva Shashivarnam Chaturbhuja Prasannavaram Jayet Sarvaviganopaşante Karandaya Vidmai Vakratundaya Dhime Tanno Dante Prachodayat. Om Gam Ganapataye Namah. Om Sri Mahani Ganapataye Namah. Om Sri Lakshmi Narayanyam Namah. Om Umamishwarabhyam Namah. Om Vani Dhanyakarvayabhyam Namah. Om Sachiparanbhyo Namah. Om Matre Pitre Charanakamaleebhyo Namah. Om Ishtadevta Namah. Kuladevta Namah. Gramadevta Namah. Sthanadevta Namah. Om Vastudevta Namah. Sarvebhyo Devebhyo Sarvebhyo Brahmanebhyo Namah. Om Bhyo Shanti Antariksham Shanti Prithvi Shanti Apa Shanti Oshare Shanti Vanaspate Shanti Vishwadeva Shanti Brahma Shanti Sarvavam Shanti Shanti Deva Shanti Sama Shanti Riddhi Bhavatu. भगवान विष्णु मंगलम गरुड़ध्वज मंगलम पार्वती नाथ मंगलाय तनोहरि ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे नमः. We offer flowers. Om Namastandika Namah. Om Namastandika Namah. Om Namastandika Namah. We sprinkle water on all the ingredients, praying for purification. Apavitra Pavitra Sarvavastam Gato Pivaya Smarit Pundarikaksha Sabayam Tara Sute Sabayam Tara Sute Punatu Punatu. We ignite the flames in our tears. May Mahalakshmi be the Sakshi, the witness to our ship. Deepa Jyotir Para Brahma, Deepa Jyotir Janadhara, Deepo Haratame Papam, Deepo Yambrate Gretam, Shubham Karotu Kalyanam, Arogyam Sukasam Param, Mama Shatru Vinasha, Deepa Jyotir Namostute, Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu, Lakshmi Rupena Sansthitan, Namastasye, 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 Namo Namah. Wish our grains of rice on our Murti. Reem Batuka Patwadana Kurkvatka Om Namah Shivaya. Reem Batuka Patwadana Kurkvatka Om Namah Shivaya. Reem Batuka Patwadana Kurkvatka Om Namah Shivaya. Sarva Mangala Mangali Shivi Sarvata Satike Shadane Trambake Gauri Narayani Namo Astute. Om Shela Putre Namaha. Om Brahmacharini Namaha. Om Chatakanta Namaha. Om Kushmata Namaha. Om Skandamata Namaha. Om Katyani Namaha. Om Kalaratre Namaha. Om Mahagauri Namaha. Om Siddhadatre Namaha. Om Sri Naudurga Divye Namaha. Aim Aim Krim Chamundai Viche Namaha. मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया, देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
We get prepared to offer water, snan, washing the feet of the divine goddess. We get prepared to offer dhar, our arghya. O Ma Durga, may you be pleased with us. Salutations at your feet again and again. Wash away our troubles, wash away our problems, wash away our distresses. Listen to our prayer. Snanam charao Durga Maiya, मैं तो स्नानम चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
स्नानम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो स्नानम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
अर्घ्यम चराओ देवी मैया, मैं तो अर्घ्यम चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
अर्घ्यम चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो अर्घ्यम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया, देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी दुर्गा मैया।
वस्त्रम चराओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो सारी चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
वस्त्रम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो सारी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
रक्षा चराओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो रक्षा चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
रक्षा चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो रक्षा चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
चंदन चराओ देवी मैया, मैं तो चंदन चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
चंदन चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो चंदन चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया, देवी मैया, मैं तो चंदन चराओ दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो पूजा करूँगी, मैं तो
पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
गंधम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो गंधम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
गंधम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो गंधम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
हरदी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो हरदी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
हरदी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो हरदी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
सिंदूर चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो सिंदूर चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
सिंदूर चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो सिंदूर चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया, मैं तो सिंदूर चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्बम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो दुर्बम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्बम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो दुर्बम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
बेलपत्र चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो बेलपत्र चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
बेलपत्र चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो बेलपत्र चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
नीम पत्र चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो नीम पत्र चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
नीम पत्र चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो नीम पत्र चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
माला चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो माला चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
माला चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो माला चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
पुष्पम चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो पुष्पम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
पुष्पम चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो पुष्पम चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया।
आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
आरती चढ़ाओ देवी मैया, मैं तो आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया, मैं तो आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया, मैं तो आरती चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया।
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं तो पूजा करूंगी, मैं
नमो नमो अम्बे दुखहरणी। निरंकार है ज्योति तुम्हारी, तिहु लोक पेली उजियारी। सशिल लाते मुख महाविशाला, नेत्र लाले भृकुटी विकराला। रूप माटी को अटिक सुटावे, दर्श करन जन अति सुख पावे। तुम संसारी शक्ति लय कीन्हा, पाल नहीं तुवन्न दन दीना। प्रणय काले सब नाशनहारी, तुम आरी शिव शंकर प्यारी। शिव योगी तुमरे गुण गावे, ब्रह्मा विष्णु तुम्हें नित्य जावे। रूप सरस्वती का तुम दारा, देश पूत ऋषि मुनियो भारा। करी रूप नरसिंह को अम्मा, प्रगट भई पर कीन विकम्मा। रक्षा करे प्रहलाद बजायो, हिरण्याक्ष को स्वर पछतायो। लक्ष्मी रूप डरो जग माही, श्री नारायण ने अंग समाणी। चीर सिंधु में करत विलासा, दया सिंधु दीजे मनि आसा। हिंगलाज में तुम ही भवानी, महिमा अमित न जात बकानी। मातंगी भूमावती माता, भुवनेश्वरी भगला सुखदाता। ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे,
चामुण्डायै विचे।
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे,
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे।
के हरिवाहन सोहि भवानी, लंगुर वीर चलत अभिमानी। करमी पर करत विलाजे, जाकुटेक कादर ही बाजे। सोमे अस्त्र अस्त्र ही त्रिशूला, जाते उतर शत्रु ही शूला। नागकोट में तुम ही विराजत, तिहु लोक में डंका बाजत। शुंभ निशुंभ डानी तुम मारे, रक्त बीज संतन सम्मारे। महिषासुर निरत अभिमानी, जयंबार में ही अनुकाली। रूप काली को काली हो डारा, सेन सहित तुम ही सम्मारा। परे कर संतन पर जब जब, वैशक्ति माँ तुम हो तब तब। अन्नपूर्ण और बसहु लोका, तब महिमा सब रही अशोका। बाल में है ज्योति तुम्हारी, तुम शरण पूजत नर नारी। ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे,
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे।
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे,
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे।
प्रेम भक्ति से जो नर गावे, दुख निद्र निकट नहीं आवे। दानव तुम जो नर मन लाए, जन्म मरण तो की चुति जाए। जोगी सुर मुनि कहत पुकारा, जोग न हो बिन शक्ति तुम्हारा। शंकर आचारा तप कीन्हो, काम क्रोध जीते सब लीनो। इस दिन ध्यान डरो शंकर को, कहु काल नहीं सुमिरो तुमको। शक्ति रूप को मरण न पाया, शक्ति गई तब मन पछताया। शरणागत हुई गिर की बकानी, जय 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 जगदम्ब भवानी। भय प्रसन्न आरी जगदम्बा, जय शक्ति नहीं कीन विकम्बा। ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे,
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे।
ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे
ह्रीं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे
मोको मातु कष्ट तिगेरो तुम बिन कौन हरे दुख मेरो आशा तृष्णा निपट सतावे रिपु मूरख मोह अति दर पावे शत्रुनाश की जय महारानी सुमेरो एक चित तुम ही भवानी करहु कृपा हे मातु दयाला रिद्धि सिद्धि दे करहु निराला जब लग जियो दया पल पाओ तुम बिन आश में सदन सुनाओ देवी चालीसा जो कोई गावे सब सुख भोग परम पर पावे मोको शरण शरण नित जाई करहु कृपा जगदम्ब भवानी ह्रीं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे
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 जयन्ती काली मंगला काली भद्रकाली कपालिनी दुर्गा क्षमा शिवा दात्री स्वाहा स्वधा नमोस्तुते ह्रीं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे
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 ब्रह्मर्पणं ब्रह्मावे ब्रह्मगणो ब्रह्मणाहुतं ब्रह्मागतेन गन्ताव्यं ब्रह्मकर्मा समारिणां ब्रह्मर्पणं ममस्तु कृष्णार्पणम् नैवेचरावो दुर्गा मैया मीठो नैवेचरावो दुर्गा मैया
नैवेचरावो दुर्गा मैया मीठो नैवेचरावो दुर्गा मैया
लपसी चरावो दुर्गा मैया मीठो लपसी चरावो दुर्गा मैया
लपसी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मीठो लपसी चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
तांबूल चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो तांबूल चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
तांबूल चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो तांबूल चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
आचमन चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो आचमन चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
आचमन चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो आचमन चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
दक्षिणा चढ़ाओ देवी मैया मैं तो दक्षिणा चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
दक्षिणा चढ़ाओ देवी मैया मैं तो दक्षिणा चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
प्रार्थना चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो प्रार्थना चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
प्रार्थना चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया मैं तो प्रार्थना चढ़ाओ दुर्गा मैया
दुर्गा मैया देवी मैया मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी मैं तो पूजा करूंगी दुर्गा मैया
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
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 प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी 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 माँ,
धर्म वाहिनी माँ,
धर्म वाहिनी माँ,
धर्म वाहिनी माँ,
धर्म वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ,
विद्यावाहिनी माँ,
विद्यावाहिनी माँ,
विद्यावाहिनी माँ,
विद्यावाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी 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 माँ,
सिंह वाहिनी माँ,
सिंह वाहिनी माँ,
शक्ति वाहिनी माँ,
शक्ति वाहिनी माँ,
भक्ति वाहिनी माँ,
भक्ति वाहिनी माँ,
बुद्धि वाहिनी माँ,
बुद्धि वाहिनी माँ,
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी 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 माँ,
जय जग जननी माँ,
जय जग जननी माँ,
जय जग जननी माँ,
जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ.
I begin tonight's Katha with a little story. a little story that is happening on a front porch, a veranda. A conversation between a grandfather and a grandson. The grandson is saying to the grandfather, explain to me about good and bad. Can you tell me about good and bad? The grandfather ponders and he begins to think, how should I answer? To be logical in my reply. And he says, good and bad, they're like two wolves fighting in your mind and in your heart. The grandson hearing this, the grandson then asks another question. Then which wolf wins? The good wolf or the bad wolf? And the grandfather replied, whichever wolf you feed, whichever wolf you choose to give life to, that is the wolf that will succeed. Janani maan, jai jag janani maan.
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 Just like the good wolf and the bad wolf continuously fights in our mind, so too the good always has a challenge, because wherever there is good, there will always be. Wherever there is good, there will always be. Do you believe that? Wherever there is positive, you will find. Wherever there is health, a time will come when there will be. Wherever there is celebration, a time there will come when there will be. Wherever there is sun, a day will come, there will be a storm. Not just rain, a storm. But the key to living a happy life is to always be prepared. Expect nothing. So that when anything comes your way, you'll not be disappointed, challenged, or affected by it. For there is no expectation. The demons, they have created great havoc. But the demons, their target, their aim, their fight is always centered around the gods. The demon and demonic beings will always try to fight, bring down, criticize, condemn the godly beings. Always. And then when you react, they look at you and they make a pronouncement. You're a pretender. The demons have defeated the gods. And so the demons started to rule the heavens. And so they were sitting, they were not only ruling the heavens, they were ruling the earth. And they were ruling the nether region. And so in other words, they were in charge. Who is in charge of our lives? Is God in charge? Or is that other man in charge? Who are we allowed to take charge of our life and control? The Devatas, now dethroned and out of the heavens, the Devatas, they were seeking help. Where will they go? Listen, it tells us. Om Shuklam Bharadram Deva Shishivaranam Chaturbhuja Prasanna Jai Sarvaviganopaşante Ekadantaya Vidme Vakratundaya Divi Tanno Dante Prachodayat Hamsa Hamsaya Vidme Paramhamsaya Divi Tanno Hamsa Prachodayat Ya Devi Sarvabhuteshu Dayarupena Samstita Namastasye 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 Namo Namah Aim Aim Krim Chamundai Viche Namah देवों का शरण मांगते करने वाली भगवती माता का रूप में देवी महन का पास रक्षा दिया करने जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ, जय जग जननी माँ।
The Devatas, they went to the Devi, not just any Devi. They went to the Devi as a Bhagavati. Have you ever heard that name before? Bhagavati? Which Devi is Bhagavati Devi? In 2022, you name your little girl child Bhagavati. And you know what they say? What kind of holy name you put in for the child? A name that is so powerful and so potent and so rich with meaning and so filled with Shakti and Bhagavati. Bhagavati was the name that was given to Devi Mata before she got the name Durga, before she got the name, any other name. When she manifested, her name was Bhagavati. And so they chose to go to that Devi, Bhagavati. Have you ever gone to a professional person on an unprofessional note? And you say, I'm talking to you not as a lawyer, you know. I'm talking to you as my friend. I'm having this conversation not as the pundit, you know. I'm having this conversation as your friend. I'm having this conversation not as a singer, but I'm having it as your friend. And so going to Bhagavati Mata, they bow to the feet of Bhagavati. And Bhagavati is about to give an advice. What advice can she give to the Devatas who has lost everything? How much do we have? How much do we have? The day on the Mosquito Creek, it was funfair. I'm not sure if people they are intelligent enough to know, or if they're really fooled by our Prime Minister and whoever else. But COVID is a real thing, you know. And COVID did not just disappear. COVID is still here. One of my cousins died with COVID a few days ago and will be cremated on Saturday. I am doing the funeral. The cause of that is COVID. COVID did not go away. But you go to the cremation site like never see, come see. Thousands of people up on the cremation site. Big show. And you're not intelligent enough to know that I'm here liming and having a good time and I could be dead too. Because there is a virus that is killing everybody. We must be intelligent. We must be wise. Well, I wear a mask, I wouldn't get COVID. You know how much people I know who wore their mask and got COVID and died? You know how much people I know never left their home to go anywhere to Lyme or anything else and they died with COVID because COVID came home to them. Tonight, Bhagavati Mata is about to give an advice. Tonight, I want to give you an advice. You are your own best friend and you are your own worst. When the choice and the opportunity comes to choose, always choose. Try to make the right choice. Well, I want to go and see and show my face because you know, the dead man can't see you. Who are you showing your face to? Today, a girl who was stranded on the highway waiting for aid, bounced down by another vehicle and died. She was cremated. Today, a woodwork man, 40-something years old, from Reform, he was cremated on the creek. Today, the man who is responsible for causing or inflicting injury to his wife, causing her to die, the school teacher, he was cremated on the creek today. Today, the little girl from Princestown, she was cremated today, 15 years old. Can you imagine? Today, a man from somewhere, Williamsville, he was cremated. 5 cremations and more than 2,000 people on the cremation site. Can you imagine? Smoke, talk, laugh, giggle, because we don't know, we have no respect. The pundits are chanting the mantras and they can't hear. And the minute you turn and you look at somebody or you say to them, let's be quiet, they look at you and they say, what happened to he boy? Where you get that pundit from? There is a certain kind of behavior that goes with the environment that you're in. Do you believe that? The people in this group know that if they go to the Yagna and they go to the puja and they do something off, one of the nights we spoke about a fiery gaze. They know. The people in this group knows only too well. Don't sit down and watch the next man and say, what are they offering now? What to do? The people in this group know only too well that when anybody look at them and say, come, don't stand up and say, me? You calling me? It's me? Because training and morals and ethics, it doesn't happen over the TV. It doesn't happen over the radio. It happens privately. So that when the opportunity comes for the world to see, there is some kind of behavior. There is some kind of planned strategy. The Devi is giving an advice. And the Devi says, they took your kingdom and so you have nowhere to live, then do something. And what is she advising them to do? Listen to what she's advising them to do. What do you think she will advise them to do? If you want to give an advice to the Devatas, what will you tell them? Listen to what she's saying. Ari, if I take your jewelry from you this evening, and I take everything that you consider to be prize, and I pack it up in Papa Malu's car, and I drive off with his car and your jewelry, what will your reaction be? And Ashish is now going to give you an advice of how to deal with this situation at hand. What advice do you think he will give you? What advice do you think he'll give? The Devi is going to give an advice. Listen to what she's advising. Listen. Janani Ma, Jai Jagai Janani Ma. Sing with me, everybody.
Janani Ma, Jai Jagai Janani Ma.
Janani Ma, Jai Jagai Janani Ma.
Janani Ma, Jai Jagai Janani Ma.
उन्होंने का अश्वादिया करने वाले, राक्षसों का लड़ने का चुन चुन करने वाले, चोर का कहाँ करने, चोर कहाँ करने। जननी माँ, जय जगत जननी माँ।
जननी माँ, जय जगत जननी माँ।
The Devi is giving an advice. And she says, the first thing I'm going to do is give you an ashavad. Ashavad. What is an ashavad? An ashavad. The first thing I'm going to do is give you an ashavad. What is an ashavad? When you do the arti for any given person and they lift up their hand, they're giving you an ashavad. Ashavad means a blessing. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give to you a blessing. And now I'm going to give to you an advice. And the advice I'm going to give you is, why not challenge the demons and force them to fight with you? Challenge them and force them to fight with you. And the Ashavad, the blessing I'm giving you, is that you'll be victorious. Tonight I want to tell you that when life becomes like a battle and we have to fight, the Devi will give us an Ashavad so that we'll be successful. But we must have trust in her. We must have conviction, knowing that she's in charge and I'm not in charge. And so giving them this advice, what will happen? Listen, it tells us. उन्होंने का केवल लंडे लंडे का जीत जीत का भक्ति भाव अपने का रास्ता बना वापस लिए करने वाले. They challenged the demons and they fought the battle. And fighting the battle, they did not only win the battle, they won back their kingdom. They got back their kingdom. And now having their kingdom back, what will happen? देवता का अपने का जन का देने वाले महन का होते वासवी का बचोर का बहुत करवे का होते करने वाले केवल श्री भगवती माता की अपनी प्राप्ति हो क्या करने प्राप्ति हो क्या करने जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ.
They were successful, and so because they were successful, they started to celebrate. They started to celebrate. Have you ever been successful? So all you think about is celebration. A person who is truly grateful for success or winning or succeeding, that person becomes grateful not to man, but that person shows gratitude to. That's why for your birthday, you put a date to do a puja, you know. Because I want to say to Bhagwan, you have 364 other days to plan a party. But the day of your birthday is a good day to pray. Well, you don't know. My birthday is the 23rd of December. I go pray the 1st of December, but the 23rd too close to having a merry time. That is your merry test. To see how merry your blessing is going to be throughout your lifetime. And don't make a merry excuse, because you might get a merry troubled life. Tonight, the Devi says, fight. And so they fought. And they did not only win the battle, they won back the kingdom. But they started to celebrate their victory. And they became very proud. And they showed no gratitude to the Devi. And she observed this. Have you ever given something praise to somebody and they don't appreciate what you have given to them? Do you know there's some people you give gifts to and you will never see them wearing it, or never see them using it, or you never see, and then you wonder, is it really worth the while giving any gifts at all? Because no appreciation comes. They will not wear it, they will not use it, and chances are they might give it away. Why are you all looking at me? Chances are they might just give it away. Cheryl has the puja. And I don't know how it happened, but the next day, Cheryl ended up in my car and we were going to a Thursday Havan. But we were coming from somewhere and I was hungry. And I said to them, can we go to Starbucks and have a coffee? And we went through the drive-thru and there is a lady with a placard standing by the drive-thru. And the lady card says, no money, only food. We are hungry. We are starving. So I ordered this Starbucks. And I pulled up in the car park and I called the lady. And I said to her, come. And I opened the trunk because you know I'm lazy, Daisy. So the Siddha from Cheryl Puja is still in the trunk. But I'm not thinking it's Cheryl's Puja. I'm just thinking that, you know, I'm going to give to a good cause. So I open the trunk and I say to the lady, I say, open your bag. She opens her bag and I begin to empty the Siddha. And all I could hear is huff and puff in the car. And Cheryl is saying to me, so that's where you just do a thing when I give you it and you're giving it away. And the lady is right there and hearing her. And I'm saying, Cheryl, this is not your... She says the same bag, it's the same thing, it's everything. I buy it, I know. And I'm saying, Cheryl, Shanti, Shanti. A greater blessing might come if this lady eat it. A greater blessing might come if we give. And so, not because you give me, how much dal can I eat? How much rice can I eat? How much will I eat? When I take it and I'm giving it to the members of the group and anywhere else and otherwise, because that is what I do, I give away everything. It is not because I consider you to be a charitable case, but it's because I'm sharing the blessing that I have with you so that you can be blessed too. Do you know how much people of status, you give them a bucket of flower and they say, oh God, like God tell you, give me this flower. Me and no flower in my kitchen. Thank God. You know much people say, you know, I really wanted to go and buy the rice and I didn't get to go and buy the rice. So look, God tell you to give me this pack of rice. I needed it. It is in giving that we purify what we have. It is not in giving we will get. Get that out of your mind. It is not in giving that you will get. And anytime you give to get, you will get nothing. And I say that with no apology. Anytime you give to get, you get zero. One evening I came to Ari and I said, Ari, I need to borrow some money. She said, why are you asking me? I said, because I know you're the only one home, so you might be able to lend me some money. She said, you know it's my birthday and I get gifts and I only got cash. She said, you know exactly how much I got. She said, how much you need? And I said the figure. She said, nah man, it's the same amount I got. It's the same amount you're asking for. You planned this. She gave it to me. But she never one day after that asked me, are you going to pay it back? When am I going to get it back? Are you going to return it? I never returned it. Till today, I never returned it. And I'm telling you, I'm not going to return it. But when we give, without expecting in return, freely, whether how it is given to you, or whether how you acquire it, you're not giving so that it will be multiplied. You are giving so that it will be purified. There is a difference. And anything that is pure automatically will grow, will multiply. And so the Devi, recognizing that they celebrated and recognizing that they forgot to give thanks, the Devi decided to teach them a lesson. I don't know if Cheryl will decide to teach me a lesson. And in the next puja she said, no Siddha for you. I don't know. But that still does not change who I am. Because whether what I have or how much I have, my job is to give. In the car, Swami and I were having a conversation in the car. After I spoke one night about submerging the murtis of Lakshmi and Saraswati Devi and the ill effects. And Swami said to me, Swami, who is at work, who is listening to the Yagya live on Facebook in work, said to me, he said, do you know I listened to you and you made a lot of sense? And I said, Swami, you saying that? You have a fever? And he said, yes. And I said, why? He says, why will you want to do that to Mother Lakshmi and Mother Saraswati? Because they are givers. They are givers. And you treat a giver with a certain amount of respect. Especially if you depend on receiving. If you depend on receiving from what the giver has to give to you. But Mother Durga and Mother Kali, they take away. And so it makes sense. Not even I gave thought to that. When we pray to Mother Lakshmi and Mother Saraswati, they give us. What they give us? Knowledge, wealth, health, food, prosperity, light. When we pray to Mother Durga, she takes away what? Rog, dosh. She takes away sickness and troubles and calamities and distress. Tonight, the Devi Bhagavati, she decides to teach them a lesson. Have you ever tried to teach somebody a lesson before? There's sometimes that I sit down and I think about some of the actions that I have performed and I wonder, where will my soul go? As a very little child, in the construction of our home in Lingua, and I still consider that to be home, contrary to others' beliefs. When I was very young, they were building some kind of thing and they were digging. And in the hot sun, the man who is digging with a fork, because there was no excavator and all of these modern things now. And so they were digging, and every 15, 20 minutes, the man would say, bring some water now. Bring some water now for me to drink. And you put the water in the fridge, but in 10 minutes, the water can't get cold. And I got tired of carrying water for him all the time. So when I went into the kitchen, in the jug, I mixed some pot salt, a thing called ajinomoto. You all know what's ajinomoto? Some vaccine. And I mixed it up inside of there, and I brought it for him. I gave it to him, and he drank from it. He said, "These pipe water?" I say, "Yeah." He said, "The one you bring just now was rainwater." I say, "How you know?" He said, "Because I only drink rainwater. You see, this pipe water, it have a taste." And in my mind, till today, I regret the action that I would have performed. Because the action was performed out of ignorance, out of being selfish. Out of me being lazy. Because there is somebody asking for water, something that is worth, you don't have to buy it. You don't have to go in search of it. And here I am doing mischief. The example that I'm telling you tonight is an example that is very familiar when we look around. Because anytime the opportunity comes for us to give, we give with a condition. We give with some kind of expectancy. Givers give freely, but takers take greedily. See the difference? Givers will give freely, but takers will take with no consideration. Help those who try to help them. Look and analyze the people who you have tried to help and see how they have grown, see how they have prospered, see how they have advanced. And if they have not advanced, does it make sense to help? You can only help those who are willing to help them. The Devi decides, I'm going to teach them a lesson. What will she do? Listen, it tells us. माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यारी जगाती है, कितना प्यारी जगाती है। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यारी जगाती है, कितना प्यारी जगाती है। उसने कहा याक्ष का प्रकट होते, करने वाले देवता का बनार होते। जब भगवान इंद्र की यक्ष स्वर्ग तथा के प्रवेश करते दिया करने, उन्होंने कहा तुरंत अग्नि का भुलार। अग्नि देवता जो यक्ष में देख और मनुष्य देखते करने वाले, अग्नि बोले मैं अग्नि देवता। उन्होंने कहा कुछ भी करने वाले संग्राम हो। माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यारी जगाती है, कितना प्यारी जगाती है। The Devi, she created a being who is called a Yaksha. Yaksha. Have you ever heard that word before? Yaksha. A Yaksha is considered to be like a demigod. A being who has power but is not of the status of being God. A demigod. And she created this Yaksha, and she said to the Yaksha, she says, I want you to go and I want you to do some kind of magic to remind the Devatas that they won the battle, but the battle was not won by themselves, it was won through me. Do something to remind them of how their power came from me and their blessing came from me. Where does our power come from? Where does our blessing come from? Where do we get power from? I want to tell you. How does the body become charged? The cell phone has to be charged by plugging in a charger, isn't it? The laptop has to be charged by plugging in a charger. The television could only function when there is electricity. The car, the battery is charged by giving it a jump start if the battery runs down, right? How is the body charged? How is our body charged? Let me tell you how our body is charged. Our body is charged, and then you see Dave smiling. Let me tell you how our body is charged. Our body is charged when we plant our foot on the ground and we receive the energy from the earth. Our body is charged when we stand towards the sun early in the morning and we receive the energy from the sun. That's how our body is charged. The old people used to say, you're having eye problems. You have to get up early in the morning and collect the dew. Have you ever heard that before? Collect the dew and wash your eye with the dew water. They used to say dew water. Have you ever heard that before? You have to be old like me to know about that. But when you get up 10 o'clock in the morning, where you will find the dew? Where is the dew 10 o'clock in the morning? The old people used to say that if you have to offer a dhar, you must get up before the sun or while the sun is. Let me tell you the philosophy of a dhar. Let me tell you. Energy comes from offering a dhar, but you don't offer a dhar in your time. You offer a dhar in the right time. And when is the right time? The right time is when the sun is going up in the sky. When the sun is peeping out to go up into the sky. You pour the dhar so that the reflection of the rays of the sun will hit your body. And this brings a charge and energy to you. Scripture has declared that the intelligent mind who gets up early in the morning to offer his dhar gazing at the sun, his eyesight becomes sharp and blessed. His senses of hearing, tasting, smelling, touching is sharpened. Scripture has declared that circulation in the body becomes better by receiving the rays of the morning sun. You don't believe me? Then why have you been walking the baby in the morning sun? Why do you walk the newborn baby in the morning sun? You have nothing better to do? Because if you know anything about a newborn baby, that newborn baby every hour or two, you have to get up and mix a bottle. So it means that when morning comes, because you're now ready to sleep because the baby really didn't sleep all night. And you already have no energy. So then how will you sum up your energy to go and walk this baby in the sun? Why? To strengthen the body of the child. To bring a positive charge to the child. That's why. The Yaksha manifested. Being given the instruction, the Yaksha decided to enter into the heavens. Who governs the heavens? Who governs the heavens? Who is the king of the heavens? His name is? Who is the king of the heavens? Indradev. Indradev is the king of the heavens. What is the temperament of Indra? Have you ever heard? Indradev. Oh God, you see that word, Dev? Indradev. Indradev has the quality of being envious. He becomes envious and he's very insecure. Have you ever heard that word insecure before? He's very insecure. Because Indradev is sitting on a throne and his insecurities have created this doubt in his mind that at any given time somebody will tug him off his throne and he will have no throne. And Indra, all he wants to have is power. That's all he wants to have. All he wants to have is power. To say, well, I am the king. Sitting in a position and not functioning, it's better you do the right thing. You know what's the right thing? Give somebody who will fill the void and perform. Do you know how much people think that if they don't come to the yagya and they don't participate in the yagya, it will have no yagya? Do you know how much people think that if they don't come to your puja and they don't help you and that you can't have a puja and you can't do anything? But that's your test, that's your awakening to remind you, do not depend on. Don't depend on man, depend on Bhagwan. There will be no disappointments. And so the Yaksha entered into the heavens, and Indradev saw him. And Indradev seeing him, insecure as Indradev is, Indradev decides to plot a plan. He calls a Devata whom he considers to be powerful, who might be able to burn the Yaksha to zero. Who will he call? Agni, the fire god. He calls Agni Devata the fire god. And as Agni Devata manifests in front of the Yaksha, Agni Devata introduces himself. I am Agni. I am fire itself. I can burn anything to nothing. Listen to the introduction. I can burn anything into nothing. Do you know there's some people, they could take anything and make it into nothing? And do you know there's some people, they could take nothing and make it into something? There's some people, they take the smallest, pettiest, insignificant thing and make it into something big. And so Indradev, sending Agni Devata uttering these words, the Yaksha smiled. And so the Yaksha smiling, the Yaksha does something. Listen to what he does. यक्षा का मुस्कार करने वाले, घस घस का भेद दिया का उसने का कथा सभी का क्रोधित करने वाले, सभी का करने वाले. The Yaksha manifested one strand of grass and he says, you have just said to me that you are powerful and you can burn anything. Then here is a blade of grass. Burn it. I want to see. Agni, who is fire, Agni begins to aim his fire at the grass. And you know what happens? Nothing happens. The fire does not touch the grass. And the grass, it cannot be burned. And Agni Devata, who just boasted about his power, he could burn anything into. A powerful person does not have to boast about their power. Do you believe that? A powerful man does not have to boast about his power. I give the example all the time. If a lion walk into this room right now, what will you do? Does the lion have to say, roar, I am the king of the jungle, I will eat you? Does he have to say that? From the time you see him, it is understood. Tread carefully, otherwise you know what happened? You is food. Your food. Agni Devata bent his head in shame and Agni Devata went back to Indra and he says, Indra, this is no ordinary being. This is some kind of extraordinary Yaksha. And so, you need to send somebody else. And Indradev hearing this, Indra summoned another very powerful Devata. Who is he going to summon? Listen, it tells us. भगवान इंद्र के पवन दे का बुलार करने वाले, पवन दे उसने का क्या करने हो का, अपने का रास्ता में कुछ भीड़ का, जिसमें का पेड़ अंधकार करने वाले, यक्षा के पवन घस घस होते करने भीड़ दिया करने, जिसमें का ओ पवन कोटि कोटि प्रणाम करते हैं कोशिश करने वाले. He summoned now Pavan. Who is Pavan? Pavan is the wind. He summoned the wind and he says, go. He has entered into the realm of the Devatas. Use your wind and blow him away. You ever walking in the wind and it is so powerful you feel as though you'll get blown away? Have you ever experienced that before? You ever walk in front of a fan and your clothes pulling you in a different direction? Have you ever experienced that before? Ever wind down the glass and the people in the car say, oh God, wind up back the glass now, eat in your hair. Because your hair begins to blow everywhere. Have you ever experienced that? Pawan Dev is given the task, blow him away. You know, sometimes in life, we come into contact with people and we wish we could just blow them away. When you're in the puja, don't lie. You must talk the truth. You must always be truthful, especially in yajna and puja. Be truthful. Has there ever been a time you came into contact with somebody that you wish you could blow them away? Why are you looking at me that way? Pawan Dev manifested and Pawan says, I am the wind. And so my job, I'm so powerful that I can blow away anything and any being. And the Yaksha listened to him and smiled. And the Yaksha took the same blade of grass and rested on the ground. He says, Pawan, wind, blow away the grass. Let me see how powerful you are. You are telling me, I want to see. Show me. And Pawan Dev started to blow his wind in a gust. And nothing happened. The grass, the blade of grass remained fixed on the ground. Pawan Dev bent his head and rushed back to Indralok. And he looked at Lord Indra. He says, Indra, this Yaksha must be some kind of powerful being. For not even I could blow him away. Indra, in his mind, he's thinking. You know what he's thinking? He's thinking what every mother and father thinks sometimes when they send their children to do something for them. Better to go and do it myself. Better I had gone and done it myself. So you know what? I wouldn't have no headache. Mother send you in the grocery for rice and you come back with ice. Better I had gone myself and not sent you. And so, Indradev decided to manifest himself. And as he manifested in front of the Yaksha, listen to what happens. Tu Kali Mahakali Durga, tu hi Bal Bhavani Ma, tu Purani Ka Tari Sharida, तू वेदों की मानी माँ, तू बालक को गोद मिली कर जीवन गीत सुनाती है, इतना प्यार जगाती है. Everybody, माँ तेरी ममता इतनी प्यारी, इतना प्यार जगाती है,
इतना प्यार जगाती है.
तभी तब भोले इंद्रदेव का स्वर्गातता करने व याक्षस का पूछने, कौन हो तुम, कहाँ कौन है, जिसमें रहते बनार होते करने वाले. देखो तभी का याक्षा और राक्षस करने हैं. माँ तेरे ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है.
माँ तेरी ममता कितनी प्यारी, कितना प्यार जगाती है, कितना प्यार जगाती है.
Indra appeared and Indra is asking the Yaksha. He says, Kaun ho tum? Kaun ho tum? Kaun ho tum means, Kaun ho tum? Who are you? क्या रहते हैं? रहते means क्या रहते हैं? It means, what does it mean? Where do you live? क्या रहते हैं? Where do you live? कौन हो तुम? क्या रहते हैं? Where do you live? If I ask you, what do you say? What is the reply? कौन हो तुम? The Yaksha, he listened and he remained quiet. And Indradev is saying, why don't you go back to the place where you came from? Why are you coming to the heavens to make trouble? Why don't you go back? The Yaksha did not interfere with anybody, you know. Indradev troubled him. And now Indradev is playing the victim. People trouble you all the time. And then they sit down and they play victim. Not me. It wasn't me, you know. It's she, and it's he, and it's the next one. And the blame goes to everybody. And you have to sit down and watch them because you know, in your mind you already know you know. But you have to sit down and just watch them and smile. There's some ghost from the sky somewhere, some bhoot did the mischief. The Yaksha, he remained quiet. And he looked at Indradev, and Indradev is saying, why don't you go back where you came from? Has somebody ever told you something like that? Has somebody ever said to you, where you come from, why don't you go back? When I had now moved into where I am, my neighbor stood up very loud and bold and he said, why you don't go back, Pinal, where you come from? And I normally don't answer. I go outside, I say, hey, you have it mixed up. It may be the next neighbor come from Pinal, I come from Barakpo. I say, in Barakpo, we learn to have a different kind of dialogue with neighbors like you know. But I am the Pandit. So I have to remain shant. I have to always be peaceful. So I call Paki to deal with the neighbor. Though he came from Laramine, he has a different kind of mindset because he came from a different environment. In Barakpo, where we came from, Lingua and Barakpo, the neighbor is our friend. We say, lend me some salt and give me some sugar. And I go, I will give you back tomorrow. It never happened though. I'm sorry, she'll tell you. It never happened. But that's a culture because we live like family. In Laramine, you know, the culture is different. Wind up your glass, close your door, stay inside. Otherwise, you know what will happen? The culture is different based on the environment that you're in. In South, you wind down your glass and you have your hand on the thing and you have on your bearer and you're good. You go for half an hour pot to spin and you just put your hand so by the window and they take your hand and the bearer and everything and they go on with it. Because the culture is different. Based on the environment, the culture is different. But you see, you take it for granted that everybody is like you. And you take it for granted that everybody's morals and values and ethics, they're like yours. But when people leave the environment that they grew up in, their culture, their tradition, their morals, their values changes. They become different. And so, the Yaksha smiled. And the Yaksha, after thinking, the Yaksha responds. And he says, I am a Das. Das means, I'm a Das. Would you like to be called servant? Would you like to be called servant? I'm a Das. When you think Das, what do you think about? Oh God, don't answer. I'm a Das. Das means servant. I'm a Das of whom? Bhagavati. I'm a servant of Bhagavati. Earlier today, I said to Robbie, I said, bring the cloth, let me help you change the cloth on the coconut. And Robbie looked at me and he said, he didn't say, he looked at me and he do. And I said, why? I want to help you. And he looked at me and I said, but I'm capable, I think I am capable enough to be able to wrap a coconut. Why are you not allowing me? And he looked at me for the third time and he said, so I looked at him, I said, you have to tell me why. He said, you relax now. You just have enough thing to do. You have enough blessing, don't take away mine now. You see all those ladies laughing there? They're working on automation because they sit down and making an offering. But Robbie is the one who prepared everything that they're offering there. You know who get the blessing? How they not laughing now? How there is no laughter now? The hands that do, they're greater than the lips that. The hands that do, they're greater than the lips that. The blessing is not in what you could offer, When is the last time you pick a flower with your own hand and say, I want to use this flower that I pick to do my puja? When is the last time you pick a neem leaf? Every morning when I get up, I mix the dhar. You don't even know this, Cindy, but I took the Durga dhar from in your cupboard. I saw it there and I didn't thief it, I take it. I told the children that I'm taking it. And they said to me, go ahead. And every morning I will mix 2 lota of dhar. And when the Swami comes, I say to him, the dhar is prepared, offer it. I will put the neem leaf, I will put the flowers, I will put the camphor, I will put the diya, I will put the agarbatti, I'll put everything as though I'm preparing it for my child. And when I open the gate, when he rings the bell, I say to him, offer your dhar. And when I come, I will offer my dhar. And I will not go to make him feel inferior. Or I will not go to make him feel as though he's saying the wrong thing. Because when you pray, there is no possible way that you can be saying the wrong thing. Because when you pray, anything that you tell Bhagwan, anyhow that you tell Bhagwan, Bhagwan will be able to understand and accept. Do you know that? The one morning I decided to go, he said, well, you chant the prayers now and I go offer the dhar. I said, then it means I am offering the dhar. You chant your own prayers. He said, but you is the Pandit. I said, well, you is the Swami. You chant your own prayers and I will chant my own prayers, and let's chant it in our mind so that there is no competition. And you pour yours and I coming back just now. And I leave him. Tonight I want to tell you that a blessing is in not sitting there and just performing worship. But a blessing is in worship doesn't begin at 7 o'clock. Worship begins in every single step of the preparation. Robbie has a helper who leaves quite down Rock Road to come to help him every day. Can you imagine that? Robbie has a helper. Poor thing don't get up early, normal. Who gets up to come to help. Robbie has a helper. You know who is his helper? His determination, his mind. Because nothing is ever too much for him to do. Today, Dave and Cindy came, and they came a day before. They told me. But then how much people know it is a yajna, know it is a Devi Yagna, have a neem tree home and pick some neem leaf and say, well, you all use it in the puja now. Look some bay leaf. Every day you all offering, look some bay leaf. You use it in the puja. Well, I want to tell you something. The Ganesh Utsav Foundation is hosting a Bhagavad Saptaha Yajna. 21 sessions of Bhagavad from the 12th to the 18th of June. Apply for your time off, everybody. Ladies, Ria, you're taking 7 days off. Tell Toma, she next to you. Everybody is taking 7 days off. And that yajna is our yajna. A Bhagavad yajna is a yajna geared at preparing your soul to gain salvation. Everybody. 21 sessions of Bhagavad. We are all going to sit together as a family, not a group. A family. And we are all going to sit and sing the praises of Bhagavan Vishnu from the 12th to the 18th of June. It will be held at the residence of Dev Bhagwan Das. And the host of the yajna is the Ganesh Utsav Foundation. And why are they hosting the yajna? The Pandit celebrating something. Don't ask Rukmin. The Pandit is celebrating something big. Now nobody has to get a special invitation. Everybody is invited. Even those who are looking on at us. You're all invited. Bhagavad Saptaha Yajna from the 12th to the 18th of June. Ashish asked me, he said, so remind me of the time of worship again. Today he asked me. And I said, well, 9 to 11, 2 to 4, and 7 to 9. He said, yeah, man. I spend the whole day and I'm walking with my clothes. Well, I have news for you. Walk with extra clothes. Because that prayer is not sit down and pray me, look me here, God. That prayer is, I am working for my mukti, my salvation. Hear me, Lord. Nobody is dressing up in no shingaling. Take your 7 days off and I'm going to dedicate to you. You pan leaf lady, you bay leaf lady, you neem leaf lady, you supari lady, and you go and fix for the next session. You know what you have to put and you know where you have to put it, and you don't put it, you know what will happen. Narayan, Narayan. And together, that which seems to be very difficult will become very enjoyable. Not easy, enjoyable. It is all about teamwork and team effort. Do not sit in a position and know that you're not functioning and be comfortable with that. Give somebody who will perform and enhance an opportunity. And that is not only a lesson for us, that is a universal lesson. A person who is powerful doesn't hold on to power, but that person empowers many other people. And through their greatness, his or her praises will be sung. Always remember that. The Yaksha looked at Lord Indra and he says, I am merely a messenger. And I was sent here by Bhagavati herself to remind you of how ungrateful you are. God of the heavens, transmit that message to all the other gods. Are we grateful or are we ungrateful? Hello? Are we grateful or are we ungrateful? Hello? Somewhere in between, isn't it? Earlier today, Kelly celebrated her birthday with puja. And so Kelly is here. Kelly sent me a message of gratitude that almost made me cry. And she wanted me to say thank you to both of you for allowing her the opportunity to have the puja here. And she wanted me to say a special thanks to Rukmin and Robbie and Cheryl for preparing everything for the puja. And she said to me, tell you thanks. Well, I don't want to tell you thanks. I want to tell you God bless you. Because it is a blessing when the opportunity comes to serve. Jump up and grab hold of it. Talking about service. There is another man celebrating his birthday. Today. Tonight. तुझे सूरज कहो या चंदा, तुझे दीपक हो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा। those who know him, in your first meeting and your first few meetings, you will think that he's very quiet. You'll think that he's calm and maintains shanti. But after you meet him a few times, you would recognize that when you're treading with him, tread the right way, otherwise you're in trouble. You would know that you have to be very cautious of what you're saying to him or about him. A few days ago, I said something in the puja that had absolutely nothing to do with my aunt, and I'm telling you from my heart. And after the puja, he said, "You want me to give you a Will Smith or what?" And I started to laugh because he did not tell me, but he told somebody who came back to me. And I started to laugh. And I said in my mind, what if he really do something like that? What will the situation be like? I'm not sure I'll be able to wear that slap like that man and be normal after. Hope to God I don't retaliate, but I will not be able to be normal after. I'm hoping that Omkar know to take off the camera at that time. And the guy from 103, I am hoping that you know to put it on a pause or something, you know. It's very straightforward. But we'll do anything. We'll do everything possible to make those around him happy. I used to think that Ari had the opportunity to pull the strings of her father only. But you know, she's pulled his strings too. And not knowing to anybody, she'll call him and she'll say, "Hey, Uncle Paki, pick up this for me now. Do this for me now." She think I don't know. Ashish told me. That's how I know. Can we wish for him as he celebrates his birthday? He's celebrating a big birthday, you know. How old he is? Age is just a our president, she's going to do a tribute to Paki this evening.
Sitaram, everyone. As we celebrate this auspicious day with you, Paki, on behalf of the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, I'd like to wish you the Devi's blessing forever, and may you always remain the beautiful person that you are, always willing to help in whatever way you can, but most of all, you are one of the people that we could all look up to and say that you lead by example, you live by what you preach, and you're definitely one of the people that my family look up to every day. And we wish nothing else but good health, prosperity, happiness, peace of mind, and Bhagwan's blessings forever. So happy birthday, Paki.
Of all the people in the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, he's the only person who goes to that construction site every single day. Every single day without fail. Because of that, he has grown to become very close to Nigel. And so I'm going to ask Nigel to say a few words. Short, very short, huh?
Sitaram, how do you start? Paki came into our environment through the Ganesh Utsav Foundation, and Paki, to me, is like any of my elder brothers. He's been a pillar of strength and support to not just myself, but also to the kids. The things that sometimes I'm supposed to fulfill as a duty of my kids, Paki fulfilled them without even I knowing. And he would go and do human service, not just for the temple, but for any member who would call on him. Paki, you're truly a blessed person in the many lives that you touch. And just as you were a blessing to all of us, I pray that Bhagwan continue to bless you with the health and strength to keep on forging forward. And I just want to say that we love you. Sitaram.
Every night, Paki will wait to eat. And I thought that he's waiting for my aunt because he's married to my mother's smallest sister. She's not my mother's sister, she's my sister. I grew up with her. We're just a few years apart from each other. And the relationship I share with her is one that is envied by all my other aunts. And I want to say with no apology, I will always love her more than them. And whether what they say or what their opinion is, it is a fact. And the reason why is because I was very close to my grandmother. And she was very close to my grandmother. And my grandmother will always be her protector. And on my grandmother's dying bed, she said to me, look out for her. You know she can't do nothing to save her own life. Promise me that you will look after her. Promise me. Anybody else I would have, but my grandmother, I made that promise to her on her dying bed. And I will always fulfill that promise. But every night when he's waiting to eat, he's not waiting for my aunt to eat. He's waiting for Nigel and he's waiting for Dave. I'm afraid to go to the table because I'm afraid of the kind of conversation that is going to happen. Because Dave is a man in industry. And when the time comes to fix the building industry at the temple, he's the discipline. He's the man who does the disciplining. Dave, I see how you're talking by the table. So I know you could talk. Take the microphone, boy, and say something.
Paki, on behalf of my wife, my children, and myself, we want to wish you, Ma Devi, blessings, and may all your dreams, your wishes, and come true, and may you be blessed with health, strength, and prosperity. Happy birthday, pal. I mean, you know, we have a good rap out, right? And don't worry, Pandit, a little jealous with that eating thing about. We're going to invite him tonight, man, right? No industrial language. Happy birthday, Paki.
I want to tell you that when Paki joined the family, I was young. There was a fight between my aunt and I for the attention of my grandmother, so we really never used to get along too good. Now she's my best friend, and that's the truth. But I've seen Paki plenty up days. And I've been able to see him in his very down days. Paki is a survivor. In every sense of that description. Survivor. He's a survivor. Because he has a wife that can't cook and he is still living. He's a survivor in the sense that he was on his deathbed and his doctor said to us, prepare. And I said to the family, I said to all my aunts, and I said, everybody need to come now. We're going to sit and we're going to pray. It is through him. We have started that Triambakam. It is through him. It is through him that we have prayed to Lord Shiva and built that relationship with Lord Shiva. It is through him the inspiration came that we will put 108 lingams in the temple, and it is through him. There is much to say thank you to Bhagwan for. I've seen him smile in a time when I know his heart is screaming and in pain. I've seen him dip his hand in his pocket on the days when I know that that pocket is empty and not knowing what he will pull out. But he wore that with a smile. And I've seen him wear his troubles and his happiness all with grace. He's a true pillar of strength. How long you'll live for, Paki? Let me tell you how long you'll live for, boy. You'll live till you're dead. But until that time, God has blessed you with a nephew like me to make your life exciting, not miserable, exciting. And I promise, as long as you're alive and I'm your nephew, we are going to have a very exciting time serving Paramatma, Bhagwan, God. तुझे सूरज कहो या चंदा, तुझे दीपक हो या तारा, मेरा नाम करेगा रोशन, जग में मेरा राज दुलारा। Bunny got away because Bunny is in India. But Bunny will be here for the Bhagavad and he'll get the microphone to tell you happy birthday. I'm promising him that. That's the Ashavad for Bunny. Come closer. Let's sprinkle the water around the fire. Sarvatirta samayuktam sugandhim nirmalam janam ajpanamya datta griyana parameshwara. जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ,
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ।
The Yaksha says to Lord Indra, I came here with the intention to remind you how to be grateful. With gratitude from our heart, we perform the Havan this evening. Bhurva svat saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhime tyo yona prachoryat swaha idam gatridam namama. Om Bhurva svat saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhime tyo yona prachoryat swaha idam gatridam namama. Om Bhurva svat saviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhime tyo yona prachoryat swaha idam gatridam namama. Om Ekarandaya vidme Vakratundaya dhime tanno dante prachoryat swaha. Om Hamsaya vidme Paramhamsaya dhime tanno hamsa prachoryat swaha. Om Anjani Sutaya vidme Vaयुputraya dhime tanno Hanuman prachoryat swaha. Om Narayanaya vidme Vasudevaya dhime tanno Vishnu prachoryat swaha. Om Mahalakshmi cha vidme Vishnu patne cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Om Brahma Murari Sri Purandakari Bhanu Shashi Bhumi Sitorasya Guru Shukra Shani Rahu Kira Sarve Graha Shantikara Bantu swaha. Om Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno Bhagavate prachoryat swaha. Katyanaya vidme Kanakumari cha dhime tanno तन्नो भगवते प्रचोदयात् कल्याणाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो भगवते प्रचोदयात् कल्याणाय विद्महे कन्याकुमारी धीमहि तन्नो भगवते प्रचोदयात् ॐ ऐं ह्रीं क्रीं चामुण्डायै विचे नमः त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मुक्षमामृतात् त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मुक्षमामृतात् त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमेव वन्दना मृत्योर्मुक्षमामृतात् ॐ सर्वदेवी सर्वदेवताय नमः स्वाहा पापोऽहं पापकर्मां पापात्मं पुण्डरीकाक्ष त्राहि मां पुण्डरीकाक्ष सर्वपापहरो हरि आचमनं समर्पयामि वनस्पतिर्सुरभूतो गन्धार्यो गणरूतमाग्रे सर्वदेवानां धूपोऽयं मृतैग्रेतां विपाौ यानि कानि च पापानि च मन्तर्कृतानि च तानि प्रदक्षिणा प्ररे. Sing with me, everybody, as we show gratitude to the Divine Goddess this evening. Janani Ma, Jai Jaga Janani Ma.
Janani Ma, Jai Jaga Janani Ma.
Janani Ma, Jai Jaga Janani Ma. With gratitude, let's clap, everybody.
Jai Jaga Janani Ma.
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी 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 माँ
धर्म वाहिनी माँ धर्म वाहिनी माँ
धर्म वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी
Sing with me, everybody. जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग
Feel her presence tonight. जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी माँ
विद्यावाहिनी माँ
विद्यावाहिनी माँ
विद्यावाहिनी माँ
विद्यावाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
जननी माँ जय जग जननी 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 माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
प्रेम वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
ज्ञान वाहिनी माँ
जननी माँ, जय जगजननी माँ।
जननी माँ, जय जगजननी माँ।
सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
बोलो सुनो मेरे देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल,
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल।
रे तेरे बीच चराया, रे तेरे बीच चराया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
सुआ चोर तेरी अंग विराजे,
सुआ चोर तेरे अंग विराजे,
सुआ चोर तेरी अंग विराजे।
सुआ चोर तेरे अंग विराजे।
केसर तिलक लगाया, केसर तिलक लगाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
ब्रह्मा वीर परी तेरे द्वारे,
ब्रह्मा वेद पढ़े तेरे द्वारे,
ब्रह्मा वीर परी तेरे द्वारे।
ब्रह्मा वेद पढ़े तेरे द्वारे।
शंकर जान लगाया, माँ शंकर जान लगाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती,
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
धूप दीप नैवेद्य आरती।
मोहन भोग लगाया, मोहन भोग लगाया। बोलो
सुनो मेरी देवी पर्वत वासिनी, तेरा पारन पाया, तेरा पारन पाया।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, ओ जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी। जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, ओ जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी। जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, जगदम्बा देवी, जय 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 जगदम्बा देवी।
जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति।
जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति।
जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति।
जगदम्बा देवी, देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति।
ओ देखो तुम्हारा देखो तुम्हारा शिव ज्योति जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
जगदम जगदम जगदम्बा देवी देखो तुम्हारा शिव शक्ति
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो शक्ति भवानी अम्बे माँ
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो शक्ति भवानी अम्बे माँ
सुनो जगदम्बे करत विलम्बे
सुनो जगदम्बे करत विलम्बे
सुनो जगदम्बे करत विलम्बे
सुनो जगदम्बे करत विलम्बे
हाथ जोर बंदार परे हाथ जोर बंदार परे बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल
पान सुपारी ध्वजा नारियल
हे तेरे भी कंधार परे हे तेरे भी कंधार परे बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ बोलो काली भवानी अम्बे माँ
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा
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 अम्बा अम्बा जय
अम्बे
जगदम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा अम्बा
अम्बे
अम्बा अम्बा जय
अम्बे
जगदम्बा
अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा माता की जय माता की जय माता की अम्बा अम्बा जय जगदम्बा 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 मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं सुरेश्वरी यत्पूजितं मया देवी परिपूर्णं तरस्तमे मंत्रहीनं क्रियाहीनं भक्तिहीनं जनाधर यत्पूजितं मया देवा परिपूर्णं तरस्तमे असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्युर्मामृतं गमय त्वमेव माता च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च शिखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव जगदीश्वरी दया करो माँ मातेश्वरी कृपा करो माँ
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 ओम शांति
ओम शांति
ओम शांति
ओम शांति
उमापति महादेव की जय पवन सुत
हनुमान की जय
माता की जय। सीताराम 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 कहिए, जाहि बेहिया के रामा, जाहि बेहिया के रामा,
ताहे बेटी रहे। सीताराम 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 सीताराम।
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to all you. Happy birthday to you. Travis, Dr. Travis is celebrating his birthday today as well. And so Travis called and he says, I'm on duty in the hospital, but my patients, they all are forced to listen to the yagya because I play that yagya every night. If not live, I replay it. And tonight, can you sing me a bhajan? And I said to him, Travis, I would allow somebody who could sing to sing you the bhajan. So Sintra, who is very familiar with Travis, is going to sing Travis his birthday song. And we also dedicate this birthday rendition to Kelly. Kelly, you are special, you are loved, and you are appreciated. And Paki, may you continue to be the dynamic being that you are. Satya Sanatan Dharma Ki Jai. Let's all be seated.
बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, बार बार दिन ये आए, बार बार दिल ये गाए, तुझे हजारों साथ ये मेरे है आरज़ू। हैप्पी बर्थडे टू यू, हैप्पी बर्थडे happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to all of you, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh सोच समझे अभिमानी चररिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी। सोच समझ अभिमानी चररिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी। सोच समझ अभिमानी चररिया हो गई बहुत पुरानी। अजब झुलावे है चादर बीनी, सुत करम को जानी। अजब झुलावे है चादर बीनी, सुत करम को जानी। सुरती निर्जी को मरना जीना, तब सबके मन मानी। हो गए बहुत पुरानी चररिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी। मैले दाग परे पापन की, विषन में लपटानी हो। मैले दाग परे पापन की, विषन में लपटानी। ज्ञान की साबुन लाया दो, सद संगत के पानी। हो गए बहुत पुराने चररिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी। शंका मानो जानो जी अपनी, यहाँ बस बिरानी हो। शंका मानो जानो जी अपनी, यहाँ बस बिरानी। कहत कबीर सुनो भाई साधो, नहीं फिर हाथ नानी। हो गए बहुत पुरानी चररिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी। सोच समझ अभिमानी चररिया हो गई बहुत पुरानी। हो गए बहुत पुरानी चररिया हो गई बहुत पुरानी। हो गई बहुत पुराने कजरिया हो गए बहुत पुरानी।
Sankhya Television is not only the first Hindu TV station in Trinidad and Tobago, but Sankhya TV also has the most coverage, where viewers enjoy Sankhya Television on Flow Channel 117, Green Dot Channel 13, Digicel Play Channel 17, Amplia Channel 102, Blink